Hello, everybody. Welcome in. If you are new here, my name is Kinny. I am a professional psychic medium, tarot reader, singer, songwriter, professional witch, and practitioner. And I'm sorry it's been so long. I've been like it, but I am back. Okay. And we are finna go ahead and get into it. Okay. Let's see. These are the ones that I've already used? I don't think so. Oh, maybe. Hold on. Nope. Okay, so we're about to go ahead and get into it. Okay, this is the last of the signs. All right, this is going to be an Apple Music replay. Okay, from my Apple Music replay 2025, and essentially it's going to be a replay for Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. Okay, the other signs are posted in part 1 and part 2. Okay, so we're about to go ahead and get into it. Thank y'all so much. Before we get into it, thank y'all for hitting that thumbs up, hitting that subscribe button, okay, to become kinfolk. Thank you for hitting the notification bell so you don't miss out whenever I post new videos, okay. Um, Girl, did you get my message from the other day? I gotta check. I'm sorry. I'll text you back, PJ. I gotta look. My phone been flooded. I'm sorry. Sagittarius is going to be the first up today, okay. Thank y'all for hitting that thumbs up. Thank y'all for hitting the notification bell, leaving a comment down below about what your favorite song from 2025 was, okay. And then we're going to go ahead and get into Sagittarius, okay? So Sagittarius, hello. Welcome in, y'all, okay? Um, y'all got Casio, okay, by Jungle. That's the same song that came up for Leo. So I would be very unsurprised if y'all had Leo placements or if a Leo was very significant in your life, okay, or people from your past, particularly your childhood, okay? When it comes down to Casio, okay, what I told, mind you, Leo is in part 2, okay? So go ahead and check out part 2, Sagittarius. But what I can say is that a lot of y'all, Casio, the song itself has a lot to do with like failed relationships, you know what I'm saying? Like, just kind of like wanting your stuff back, you know what I'm saying? So I definitely think that 2025 was one of those to where it was kind of like nostalgic, okay? The two cards that have come up thus far are the Three of Wands and the Ten of Swords in reverse, okay? So I definitely think that y'all were definitely doing some traveling, okay? Y'all were definitely doing some traveling. Y'all were definitely doing some moving around, very Sagittarius, okay? And I definitely feel as though y'all kind of got out of a situation that made you feel trapped, okay? Especially like a relationship that made you feel trapped, all right? I feel you could have been exploring like new people, new types, okay? And things like that. Hi, Jay. Welcome in, honey. I definitely think that this could have been a year where travel was very, very significant. Okay. And I definitely think that you kind of like got free, got past some like heaviness. Okay. In regards to relationships. So he's like, Casio, playing on my heart just like a Casio. So you can let it go. Okay, I definitely think that you may have had somebody that was kind of like playing with your heartstrings or tugging on your heartstrings. Okay, Sagittarius during 2025. This year definitely had a lot of like severing cycles. Okay, I have this Seven of Swords that came up as well with it with the Death card at the back. Okay, so yeah, y'all definitely went through some sort of like breakup, ending, separation. Okay, there was definitely you like being for real as well about like your friendships and the people around you, okay. Networking, communication, all that was very, very significant this year, okay. They're definitely, you could have Scorpio placements, you'd be able to watch a Scorpio reading, all right. And I just definitely think that there was things revealed about some of the people in your life, okay, friendships as well as like relationships, okay, and these were always going to come to some sort of end. Scorpio season could have also been super, super significant, okay. For this collective as that Four of Swords, yeah, y'all could have like broke up with somebody who was just like all over the place, okay. I definitely think that this year was one of those years where you recognize that you don't really want to be like all over the place, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah, that's Scorpio energy, and then we have this Taurus energy here. So I definitely think that there was a lot of endings and major transformations, especially in regards to like how you feel about long-term relationships and long-term friendships, okay, and like what really can stay in your life. Like this was a very maturing ass year for y'all, okay, Sagittarius. Shit got real, real for y'all. You know what I mean? And I definitely think that there was some pain here. I definitely think that y'all kind of like went through it. This is like pulling yourself back up, okay, getting yourself out of like negativity, okay, and kind of like making new plans without certain people in your life. Okay. I definitely think that there was some secrets that you found out that hurt your feelings that led you to have to like cut some people off. Okay. And focus deeper into your craft focus deeper into your tradition, your religion. Okay, but we have the Star card and the Six of Swords right here. Okay, so I definitely feel as though this has a lot. That Scorpio energy is very, very strong here. Okay, lots of Sag placements have Scorpio placements, but I definitely think that this is like there was like major transformation about you recognizing who really was for you, okay, and who wasn't for you. Okay, y'all have to kind of let go of childish people. This is a Leo card in reverse. I need to watch that Leo reading because y'all are the only two people, only two signs that got the same like song. Okay, out of the whole 100 songs in the Apple Replay 2025, Sagittarius and Leo got the same energy. Okay, so I definitely think that you could have you could have went through a breakup or a separation or a friendship breakup with a Leo placement or someone from your childhood. Okay, for someone else, someone that you had kids with. Okay, like the father or mother or parent of your children. Okay, but I definitely feel like you have to like let go of people who were like insecure. Okay, or let go of people who just were like moving, just kind of like weird. Like I definitely think that you matured and recognized like that you're looking for something much deeper. Like I feel like y'all ended up choosing yourself or choosing your independence because somebody was very insecure with inside of themselves. Okay, there could have also been some issues with like vehicles and cars. Okay, or like just somebody not having like their goals together. Okay, um, when all your dreams are gone and you're still holding on. You waited for so long. You see, I know, you know, it's over. Okay, so yeah, when all your dreams are gone, yeah, I just feel like you had like a wake up call, like a reality check in regards to some of these people. Okay, you had a wake up call, especially in regards to like romantic relationships, about people being like childish or like people like not being super confident. And then at the end, she's like, "Don't think that my love is gone." Didn't I say that pain? Because I was adding up these two together. Okay. I definitely think that y'all, something did not go as according to plan. Canceled long-term plans, canceled travel, canceled trips could have been significant. Okay. Don't think that my love is gone. It's all over your head now. Somebody could still be in love with somebody else, okay? Like someone could still be in love with you, okay? Sagittarius, that's good. That's definitely could be what this is, okay? Don't think that my love is gone. It's all over your head now. 2025 could have definitely been that like yearning energy, okay? Like somebody really thinking deep onto you or you thinking deep onto other people, but you had to like mature and grow up and recognize that like even though you wanted someone like this or wanted this person when y'all were like kids, y'all could have had kids, okay, whatever the case may be, but like it's just, it was time for you to like heal past that with that Six of Swords. Okay, it was time for you to heal past that. Back of the deck right here is this World card. Okay, you had to grow up, you had to mature and recognize, like, you know, when all your dreams are gone and you're still holding on. Okay, so I definitely feel like this whole year was definitely one of those situations about like being independent and having to be with yourself. Okay, and kind of figuring things out, making things work. Okay, meeting, networking, meeting new people. Okay, that move differently than that person does, but I feel like they were in a low vibration. Okay, heavy on the Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio energy, emphasis on Scorpio and then Cancer. But there was definitely like a lot of that. Okay, Sagittarius, and I definitely think that you had to like make some choices and decisions having to do with a certain person this year. So there was a lot of endings, period, and there was a lot of you like being more for real or more serious than like you're used to, and having to think about long term stuff, like who you actually want to have in your life. You know what I mean? And I definitely think you put an end to a bunch of like fake shit, shicey shit. You know what I'm saying? There was just a lot going on. There was definitely some injustice you faced at the hands of like a friend or like a partner. You know what I'm saying? And it kind of like put you on your ass a little bit. It made you think about things, all right, and think about, like I said, what you want in the long term, all right. So I definitely think that the beginning of this year was more like fun loving and like, you know, doing what you want to do, but then like later towards the year, you know, especially like by Scorpio season, shit was a little bit, shit might have been a little bit different. Okay, yeah, shit may have been a little bit different. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into uh the different seasons this year and how that went for y'all. Okay, so I definitely think that let's start with winter. But for winter, I'm doing it from January to March. Okay, how January and March went for Sagittarius placements. Okay, um, let's see what's going on. How was winter January through March? Ooh. I definitely think that winter was eventful for y'all. You know what I'm saying? But celebration in reverse, yeah, take time out to celebrate in reverse. I definitely think that there could have been some sort of canceled party, canceled celebration, something of that nature. Okay, a big event cancellation. Some of y'all could have been like a delayed graduation. Okay, I definitely feel as though this could have also been y'all celebrating way too much. I definitely could have been in a partying aspect. Okay, so if this wasn't canceled celebrations and parties, okay, this could have literally been like doing a little bit too much. Okay, so yeah, your prayers have been answered and a new door is being held open for you. So like, uh, you were praying for something during the winter, okay, and I think that the winter opened up a new door for you to spring, okay. But I feel like you have to kind of be for real. Like maybe y'all are still kind of stuck in like wanting to be like outside, you know what I'm saying? Like wanting to like go places and things of that nature. But it's like those places were places with people that you didn't really need to be with. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, some of y'all's birthday could have some sort of birthday cancellation or issues with somebody else's birthday could have been very significant during winter. Okay, so during spring, let's see what's going on. So that's March through June for springtime. Okay. Let's see what's going on. Okay, so yeah, y'all are having got a little bit of struggle in the beginning of the year. Okay, trying to make some sort of change and get out of some sort of like toxic like lifestyle or like over partying, overdoing it. Okay, or being around somebody that was doing a lot. You know what I'm saying? Too much time out to celebrate. But like the caterpillar that emerges from its cocoon, you were about to get your wings. Okay, but this was in reverse. So like you were still going through this change. Okay, like that door was starting to open, but you were still going through a change during the springtime. Okay, so March through June, and that definitely like March to June, that's definitely where Gemini season is. Okay, so there's opposition there, and I definitely think that for Sagittarius placements, springtime was definitely one of those where you were kind of being like forced, like you were being put through a change, but like you wanted to be more ready than you were. You know what I'm saying? And I really feel like this had a lot to do with like your soul group, okay, and the people around you. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like you were more to yourself, and like you wanted to be more outside, and you were trying to force that, and a bunch of shit started happening to you because you can't force like you were trying too much to be like celebrating. You know what I'm saying? It was too much going on. You know what I'm saying? And I think that during the springtime, you tried to continue that, but you were kind of you felt restricted during the springtime. Okay. Yeah. Let's see what's going on during summer. Okay. Yeah, y'all. This is the year may not have been the. What did I pull first? What's the back of this deck? The death card. This year was definitely very transformational. It definitely may not have been the easiest of like endings. You know what I'm saying? Like this felt like a really like grown up, like having to grow up type of year. Okay, so I definitely feel as though summertime, okay, so that's June through September, okay. June through September could have definitely been you still for like y'all really put up a fight against like some level of change, okay. This could have been over drinking, over smoking, going out too much, being around too many people this year. You know what I'm saying? And with limiting beliefs, this situation calls for reprogramming your belief system, okay. But it's like you were really stuck in those limiting beliefs, okay. I definitely feel like this was you. Yeah, this was you. Like limiting beliefs were really coming from the people around you. Okay, I really feel like spring and summer, there was something about the people that you were hanging out with, the people that you're friends with, that just was not working. Or people that you were dating, you know what I'm saying? It just like was not working because you have a different layer and level of like energy than those people do. You have a natural ability to heal yourself. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like other people were like you were trying to focus on healing other people, or there were just so many unhealed people around you. Okay, that during the summertime, okay, for Sagittarius placement people, I definitely think that you had you found a lot of confirmations about like people being negative like in your life, you know what I'm saying, and that a lot of the limiting beliefs that you were feeling like were actually coming from other people. Okay, we're actually coming from other people. So I really feel like you spent this year really trying to hold on to some folks. I'm gonna be honest, like that's what this feels like. Is that you were trying to hold on to people who were fucking like childish, and like there was some stuff that was like revealed to you during the summertime. You know, especially during like Cancer Leo season. Okay, because we have that Cancer summertime was a little rough for y'all. Okay, summertime was not the easiest. All right. So yeah, like that June through August could have been a little bit rough for Sagittarius, okay? I definitely think that y'all found some secrets out about somebody being fucking like childish, okay, or just like moving weird. You may have had to like walk away from somebody, move away from somebody, okay? So yeah, let's go ahead and see what was happening during the fall, okay? Fall was from September to December 21st. Right now, when I'm filming this, it is now winter, okay, period. But let's go ahead and see what was going on fall for Sagittarius, okay, which is during Sagittarius season. Y'all got mentors. So fall, okay, especially around Sagittarius season, okay, started to be a thing for y'all. But Scorpio season really was like the big, big heavy stepper, okay, especially with these two cards right here. Scorpio season was really the big heavy stepper, okay, especially that full moon in Taurus. Okay, so Scorpio season and that full moon in Taurus, new moon in Scorpio, that could have been a very transformational time for Sagittarius placements, okay? And I think that around that time, all right, or even just during the fall in general from September to December 21st, okay, you definitely could have found a mentor, okay, or like maybe you're getting deeper into communicating with somebody who, like for some of y'all, this could be a mentor in school, a mentor in your craft career, this could be spiritual, you know what I'm saying? But fall, you're about to meet a person of high integrity who will guide you in the right direction. So during the fall, y'all may have met somebody, okay, or even like the rest of 2025, y'all may have met somebody who is like helping you and is going to be an integral part of your life in 2026. Confirmation birth. So the fall was definitely a time period for you to get closer to somebody who has like a level or like a skill set that y'all are like looking for. Okay. Yeah, I definitely feel as though y'all kind of like got ahead of yourselves. Like there's stuff that you feel like you know, but you really don't know. You know what I'm saying? And I think that you are kind of missing out on some of the synchronicities. Okay, that spirit is trying to show you. Okay, and this mentor could definitely help you to like make sense of it. Okay, the astrology of fall is also super, super significant for y'all. Okay, so yeah, the astrology of fall is very, very significant for y'all in general. That has to do with the fact that Sagittarius season is during the fall in the first place. It's the last season of fall. Okay, so I think that now, like, because y'all were refusing to like grow in a certain way, to let go of limiting beliefs and to like let go of like ways, okay, and let go of people who just are not supposed to be around you, okay, y'all trying to like move and grow bigger than your cocoon, you know what I'm saying? Like now there's somebody that you met in the fall who is like a good person. You know what I'm saying? Like during the fall, or even like between September and the end of 2025, you could have met a person of high integrity who is going to help guide you in the right direction. Okay, and this is like good karma. Okay, you're so used to like tough love. This is good karma. Okay, and even this mentor may be giving you some tough love. Okay, and they might tell you shit that you don't like. Okay, they might be for real, but this person is a part of your support team. Okay, this person is absolutely a part of your support team. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and see. Oop, we're gonna go ahead and see what's going on for the biggest lesson that Sagittarius learned during 2025. Okay, literally, there we go. Okay, I got balance. Okay, chaos. Didn't I say this was a lot? There was a lot that was going on this year. The biggest lesson was to balance yourself through all the chaos and to also find like more grounding routines and finding other shit to distract you besides like hanging out, drinking, partying, smoking, being around too many people. Even if you're not drinking, partying, smoking, like just like doing other stuff that to like distract your mind. You know what I'm saying? So the biggest lesson also had to do with like longevity, long-term stability. The sun on this card, the sun is currently in Capricorn, okay, when I'm filming this, so this has a lot to do with like long-term stability. Okay, that also could have been like why you started that year off like that. I definitely feel like your lesson had a lot to do with balancing your personal life as well with like your long-term career. That's where that mentorship is also coming from. Okay, so this is you finding healthier ways to go about stuff. Okay, your lesson came with like if you don't want things to be chaotic in your life, you know what I'm saying? What decisions can we make? January 1st could have been very significant. Okay. So, like New Year's Day this year could have been very, very significant. Okay. But I definitely think that, like, winter Capricorn season, all right, could have been a thing. So, for Sagittarius, when it comes down to the biggest lesson that y'all learned this year, okay, like y'all were integrating lessons into yourself, okay? This card bursts and brings the message to find equilibrium, okay? So, yeah, y'all's biggest lesson has to do with finding equilibrium during 2025. Y'all could be sure that instant karma showed up for you no matter where you were on your spiritual path during 2025, okay? Didn't I say that earlier? Like karma, okay? So, I definitely feel as though y'all had a karmic ass year. Shit definitely blew back up in your face here and there, okay? And that was for a reason. But the biggest lesson, like, showed you what happens when there's too much chaos and not enough balance, okay? Especially when it comes down to underhanded behavior or people being like devilish, okay? And like being like addictions and bad habits, obsessions, okay? Vices. Above the rocks, you see a bright star illuminated. Sirius streams light codes down in the middle of the rocks and reminds us of the gentle balance and the forces that drive us. There was a fine line, okay? There is a fine line between chaos and balance. Just as your thoughts could build you up during 2025, they could take you into a momentum that is out of balance, causing unease, stress, and multitudes of other negative things. This card, okay, Hey Jada, this year felt like hell on wheels. Yeah, this was not an easy year for Sagittarius. Okay, this definitely was a major transformational death card type of year. Okay, some of y'all could even have to do with like an actual like death. Okay, a loss of somebody this year at some point in time, but especially if it happened during springtime. Okay, or this person could have been an Aries, Taurus, or Gemini placement. But if so, I'm sorry for your loss. Take that if it resonates. Okay. But that is out of balance, causing unease, stress, and multitudes of other negative things. This card emerges when y'all, during 2025, were hearing the call for balance. So that's y'all's biggest lesson, was balancing yourself out. Maybe because, mind you, Sagittarius ruled by Jupiter, which deals with like expansion, and things get much bigger than they're supposed to be real fast. You know what I'm saying? So maybe you need more sleep, more work, or more alone time. So yeah, this was the idea of recognizing, especially like with like more work and getting yourself balanced in a financial manner. Okay, getting yourself balanced in a financial manner, and the chaos in your life was messing with y'all. For Sagittarius, rutilated quartz, okay, rutile quartz could be very, very significant for this collective. I'm just set that there for a second. Okay, your mentor could have to do with that as well. But whatever balance is needed, okay, if you look inside yourself, you will find it within your spirit. So yeah, 2025 was a year of y'all finding balance. Okay, Unakite could have been really, really significant for Sagittarius, or Sagittarius may want to work with Unakite. Okay, Unakite. Okay, or rutilated quartz. So new thought pattern. My emotions are balanced and I react with love. That was the biggest lesson for Sagittarius this year, to balance your emotions and to react with love, and to know when certain people, like, you can't love them through certain shit. You know what I'm saying? So even with the song being Casio, okay, playing on my heart just like a Casio, somebody was definitely playing like with your feelings, like playing on your time. You know what I'm saying? Somebody could have definitely been playing with your feelings, playing on your time, okay? Playing on your heart just like a Casio, especially if you and this person, like, music could have been significant, okay? Y'all could have had a very musical relationship, okay? When all your dreams are gone, you know what I'm saying? And you're still holding on, you know? Um, yes, girl, my grandma died in June. I'm sorry to hear that, but we were dealing with this since May. When I tell you October and November were like a spiritual warfare, my God. I absolutely like believe that. You know, Sagittarius was, this was a like, and October, November is Scorpio season. You know what I'm saying? Y'all had major, major changes, major changes. You know what I mean? But Sagittarius, that is what I have for you. I hope that y'all have an amazing 2026. Okay, I will definitely be on here for those readings soon enough. But thank y'all for hitting that thumbs up. Thank you for hitting the notification bell so you don't miss out. Hitting that subscribe button to become kinfolk. Okay, and leave a comment down below about what your favorite song from 2025 was. Okay, y'all go check out Casio. Capricorn. I'm just playing. Welcome in, Capricorn. Okay, it's your girl, you know. But happy almost 2026 and happy Capricorn season to all the fellow Capricorns. It is our birthdays. It's our birthdays. Yes, yes, it's our birthdays. Okay. So when it comes down to it, Capricorn, thank y'all for hitting that thumbs up. Thank y'all for hitting that subscribe button, the notification bell, and leaving a comment down below about your favorite song from 2025. We're gonna go ahead and get into it. Okay, Capricorn. The song that y'all have for 2025 was "Girls Need Love" by Summer Walker. Okay, Aries energy. I may want to watch the Aries reading if that applies to y'all. Okay, or Aquarius. Summer Walker has an Aquarius moon. Okay, that could be very, very significant for y'all. All right. And she's an Aries. All right, with some Pisces placements now. I think some Taurus as well. But when it comes down to it, girls need love. Okay, y'all had a very like freak nasty type of year. Okay, and if not that, then this like your identity. Okay, in regards to your like your sexuality and like how like intimacy. You know what I'm saying? Sensuality. Like all of that was definitely like brought into play this year. Okay, um, like honestly. Mm-hmm. Y'all are being really, really honest with your partners, okay? Or like just being very forward about what it is that you like, okay? Honestly, I'm trying to stay focused. You must think I got to be joking when I say I don't think I can't wait. Y'all could have essentials could have been significant. I definitely could have been stocking up on stuff. Okay. Wow, I'm just doing my first live in 10 minutes. I'm also in Aries. Good luck. This live gives me confidence. Aw, good luck. I hope that your live goes amazing. Period. And I definitely think that y'all could have definitely been like getting essentials for something that y'all want to do in the long term, okay? Because like she's been trying to focus, you know what I'm saying? Like this is her energy of I think this year was definitely very strenuous for Capricorn, which like every year is, okay? very strenuous for Capricorn, okay? And I definitely think that y'all were experiencing or like desiring like a lot of hopefully this doesn't start messing up the camera. I'm gonna just put something over here so it don't start flipping around. Okay. Okay. I definitely think that this year could have been one of those years for y'all. Okay. I also feel as though y'all could have like walked away from somebody, okay, from a physical partner, a sexual partner, especially. Honestly, I'm trying to stay focused. You must think I got to be joking. I say, I don't think I can wait. I just need it now. Better swing my way. I just need some. I just need some love. Tired of working with these things. Baby, I just need a hug. I feel like y'all also this year was definitely not the best year for relationships. Like y'all may have been in like a shitty relationship this year, okay, or like dealing with people who are not necessarily compatible. Won't you be my plug? Hey, some of y'all could have actually been messing with the plug or someone who had certain connections. You might be the one, hey. We can start with a handshake, baby. I'ma need more than a hug. Girls can't never say they want it. I've also been dealing with issues having to do with like sexism, feminism. Not say feminism as an issue, but like y'all could have been having to like stand up for yourself, having to do with like your gender or standing up for another woman. Okay, for a woman in your life. Okay, or feminine energy. Okay, as soon as I say that, yeah, y'all. This was not the best year for relationships. Nine of Cups, Two of Cups, and Reverse, and Five of Swords. You walked away from somebody, especially a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Okay. And I definitely think that y'all were like redefining how y'all felt about like romantic happiness, domestic happiness, like wanting a family. You know what I'm saying? Like girls can't never say they want it. Girls can't never say how. Girls can't never say they need it. Girls can't never say no. Oh, girls can't never say they want it. Girls can never say how. I feel like y'all spent a lot of this year holding your tongue. Girls can't never say they need it. Girls can't never say no. Oh, now. Give it to me like you need it, baby. Yeah, honestly, want you to hear me. Heavy breathing. Y'all have to make some decisions, okay? I definitely think that y'all cut somebody off and it didn't hurt as much as you thought that it would, okay? Want you to hear me screaming heavy breathing. I don't need a reason, baby. I want it till you can't fight. I can give it to you right, baby. I wanna be a healing. I could be real good. Please don't get in your feelings. Hey, I need some love. I definitely think that y'all were also very like romantic. Y'all definitely could have got back into your creativity, songwriting, things of that nature. Okay, poetry. I need some love. Hey, I really think y'all were setting boundaries with people though, for sure. I need some love. Hey, and you can judge. Yeah, y'all. I feel like y'all were somebody's villain this year, okay? I definitely think that y'all cut somebody off. Y'all absolutely went through some sort of breakup, separation, recognizing that people were not compatible with you, okay? But I definitely think that y'all ended up like cutting somebody off, and I definitely think that some shit that you thought you were done with and over with or healed from 2024 was not healed, okay? And I do think that yeah, like stuff may have gotten worse the more that you try to pursue somebody, especially if it came down to like just because things were cool, like sexually or like whatever the case may be. But shit became very apparent to you with that Four of Cups that something was not out of balance and that you could not keep juggling this. Okay, I feel like somebody had you like out of body. You were disconnected from your divine feminine this year. Okay, especially if you are a Libra, a Taurus, or a Sagittarius. Like, I strongly feel like y'all were kind of out, even a Capricorn, but Libra, Taurus, well, of course you're Capricorn, Libra, Taurus, Sagittarius placements, especially, okay, but I really feel like, we'll even say Pisces, I just feel like y'all were out of y'all divine feminine and y'all were not balanced because I feel like y'all were messing with people, okay, who just were not like that, you know what I'm saying? This could also have been like the idea of like third party situations, losing out on like friends, okay, friendship breakups, finding out that friends have feelings for people, okay, I definitely think this year was fucking messy. I also may want to watch the Leo reading. I think this year was definitely very messy, and you ended up having to like cut off a number of people. Okay, you stopped talking to a number of people. Okay, who were not like people who they don't have no long-term goals, okay, people who you can't foresee yourself being friends with in the long term, okay, people who like they don't got nothing going for them, or like people who are weird about money, like they may have like shitty ways having to do with money, selfish, like not say that someone has to give you things, but like someone may have weird ways of thinking, okay. It could also be like people who like they don't care about like I don't know, like their career, their long term, and that just doesn't resonate with Capricorn energy most of the time. You know what I'm saying? And I definitely feel as though it could definitely be like you were dealing with people who like who was moving around too fast. Okay, you could have been dealing with somebody who was like hypersexual or aggressive. Okay, or just like somebody who just like they just do too much. All right, you could have also kind of fell out with some people from your past. Okay, or like some people who are just being like childish, but you definitely like saw like the truth. Okay, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini season. Okay, whatever the case may be, you started seeing the truth about somebody and the people like in your life. You know what I mean? I definitely think that 2025 was one of those times where you recognize that you had so many more options and like y'all were more open. Some of y'all, this could have to do with polyamory, okay? But you could have been recognizing that you're more open to things in your dating life, okay? Instead of having to like go through an uphill battle. Some sort of time moment did happen, but like it wasn't a bad one. There was some sort of breakup or separation or ending or whatever the case may be, okay? Because you were not acting like yourself. You were not able to like really like get into like your zone like that. You know what I'm saying? Because somebody had you a little fucked up. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna go ahead and look into the seasons, right, and what 2025 may have brought, okay, for Capricorn. Okay, so January, winter time, January through March. Okay, that's also Capricorn season, that January aspect. All right. So what did winter bring for Capricorn during 2025? Okay, so the magic touch in reverse. Okay. You are accessing true magic from deep within, but in reverse. Okay. So a lot of y'all, the affirmation says the law of attraction works for me always. Okay, but the law of attraction, that's my affirmation on my thing. Okay, so I think that y'all may have been overdoing it with the magic during the winter time. Y'all could have been casting. Okay, that could have been very, very significant. Okay, Dollar Tree significant. I call it $1.25 tree. But I definitely think that like shit was getting more expensive for you. Okay, or like money could have been an issue or problem. Okay, or just like not having all that you like want and not having all that you need could have been a thing. Okay, a lot of that could have had to do with like someone that you were with or dating at that moment in time. Okay. But with the magic touch in reverse, y'all were having a hard time accessing like true magic, or like you felt like your magic wasn't working. It could have been an overdoing it as well. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely think that like y'all may have felt like unprotected, you know what I'm saying? And y'all may have been a little bit like distant from spirit. Y'all weren't really picking up the signs and symbols the way things could have felt pretty dark for y'all during winter time, okay? Things could have felt pretty dark. Whataburger is very, very significant for y'all, okay? Y'all could have been spending a lot of money on stuff, okay? Stupid stuff, okay? Pyrite is very significant. Cows are significant as well, all right? But I definitely think that some karma was playing out during winter time, which kind of continued into the spring, okay? But I definitely think that like y'all were going through some sort of injustice, all right? Y'all were probably trying to magic your way out of it or manifest your way out of it, and you felt like things weren't just working like that. So during springtime, okay, from March through June, what was going on March through June for Capricorn placements? Okay, I lit y'all the karma card. Okay, so but you may be involved in a situation that requires justice or fairness. Okay, so I think that during the springtime there was some sort of like bad karma or some sort of injustice, okay, that y'all were experiencing. And I think it really had a lot to do with like the people around you, okay? People like who were like not seeing your vision, or people who claim themselves to be visionaries, okay? But in reality, it's like these people were just like stringing you along, okay? So Move It Along, Please by Sasha Keeble and Leon Thomas, okay? Pisces, Leo energy could have been significant there. But yeah, like this was the idea of not being able to put your creative ideas into action because you were worried about the creative ideas of somebody else, or this is the idea of like there were too many ideas and not enough action in general, okay? And I think that there was like some karma playing out having to do with that. Your intuition was feeling blocked still, okay? And I just feel like there was like a lack of trust between you and spirit. But I definitely feel as though there was a heavy need for like more protection, and there was like so many unfinished creative projects or things being started and not finished during the springtime, okay? There was just like a lot going on. Y'all were definitely going through some sort of like dark night of the soul. Okay, y'all were still experiencing that. It seemed like y'all entered into 2025. Okay, already going through a dark night of the soul. Okay, that was already occurring in December of 2024. Okay. So yeah, there was definitely some heavy karma being like played out. I feel like a lot of this was all together, and really the spring and summer was incredibly like active for y'all. Okay, what was going on during the summertime? Okay, visionary, okay, back up. You are learning to synthesize all of your creative ideas into action. So the summertime, things started to kind of shift for you and get a little bit better. Okay, yeah, um, yeah, especially at, like the beginning of the summer. Okay, so summer is going to be June through September. Okay, so definitely like during the first half of June, like Gemini season. Okay, Gemini season could have definitely been very much so where stuff started to get easier for you. Okay, y'all started to learn to synthesize all of your creative ideas into action. Y'all were not able to get things handled the way that you wanted them to. Okay, in the first like 2 seasons. Okay, from January through June was a little bit difficult. Okay, but like June through September, okay, you started having more goals, more ideas, you know what I'm saying? And you started synthesizing your creative ideas into action, okay? Putting yourself out there more, okay? But y'all were still kind of like, y'all still didn't feel like your magic was working the way that you wanted it to, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like maybe you felt like you were being led in like the wrong direction, or like y'all were not like seeing all the synchronicities, okay? But I think that summertime definitely showed you that you are a natural born leader, you know what I'm saying? And like that you really are a true visionary, okay, and that you have the capability to do what it is that you're doing. But the beginning parts of the year were rough on y'all, okay? So let's see what's going on during fall, okay? So September through now, okay, September through December 21st, so September through now, how did fall go, okay? So yeah, Org Field, this was also, you know what I'm saying, not necessarily the the cutesy easiest year either. Confirmation, okay, on this box just closing. Okay, so a lot of y'all during the fall time, y'all could have closed the box to somebody. Okay, some of y'all could have been celibate or abstinent. Okay, whatever the case may be. So y'all's org field was like all over the place. Okay, there could have been a breach in your org field. Okay, it's time to call in energy protection to shield, clear, and strengthen your aura. Okay, but in reverse, like y'all could have felt like your org field was under attack. Yeah, y'all could have been under some sort of spiritual attack, okay, during fall, September to now. Okay, it is time to call in energy protection to shield, clear, and strengthen your aura, okay? But yeah, y'all could have like had your wards being broken through, okay, foggy energy, things are not clear, okay? And something was trying to weaken your auric field, okay, during, so y'all, I would highly advise protection. Okay, yes, like there's people who are like trying to disguise shit with tough love. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes down to the energy healer, I definitely think that with your natural ability to heal yourself and others need, yeah, I just feel like wintertime, you recognize you cannot be healing other people. Other people were trying to force you to be a part of like their healing. You know what I'm saying? And y'all were not able to like step into your fullest potential. Okay, because I just feel as though there was some tough love that you were avoiding about some of the people that were around you in general. So I don't think that you were being honest with yourself about your potential. Like something happened. Like you had this visionary aspect during the fall, during the summertime, and then something about like winter, y'all started experiencing attacks. Okay, yeah, but I feel like during the winter time, this is about you getting outside more and spending more time around nature. Okay, and I do think that that fall energy right there. Was one of those things that kind of show you that you need to kind of reground yourself. So winter going into 2026, December 21st into 2026, okay, I definitely think that Capricorn should focus on being outside more, okay? And just know that during the winter time of 2026, y'all are going to be manifesting some sort of increase, okay? Something that you have been like really, really wanting, especially like it could be financially or whatever the case may be. But y'all need to pay attention to the signs, especially angel numbers at this time, okay? So, and also y'all may want to watch the Leo or Sagittarius readings if that makes sense for you, okay? Um, but yeah, 2025 definitely was a sexy year, okay? Y'all were just stressed. So we're going to go ahead and see the biggest lesson, okay, that Capricorns learned this year, all right? And y'all got conjuring in reverse, okay? Legacy in reverse, okay? So a lot of y'all this year could have also learned a big lesson having to do with like your spirituality. Didn't I say in the beginning with that magic touch in reverse? Okay, like maybe y'all were like doing too much. Okay, like maybe y'all casted like a little bit too much, or like maybe there was just like a disconnect between you and your practice, you and your magic at some point. You know what I mean? And I definitely feel like looking at this card upright, this gonna also have to do with like influence, substances, drinking, smoking, things like that. You know what I mean? But I definitely feel also Princess and the Frog could be significant. New Orleans, Louisiana could be significant. Okay. Yeah, crown chakra and heart chakra. Okay, so also gives me Mardi Gras. All right. So yeah, that February, March energy could have been significant, but I definitely feel as though y'all could have also been dealing with like people attacking you. Okay. Like this could also have to do with like issues in like bloodlines. Okay. Or figuring out some bloodline based things. All right. But yeah. When this card appears, okay, many ancient cultures believe that wisdom is passed down through smoke, and that when you inhale the smoke, you can receive messages from those who are your guides and ancestors. In reverse, this is definitely giving me like overindulgence, okay, addictions and things of that nature. You could have learned a big lesson about how substance use or like being in too many spaces, you know what I'm saying, or like doing too much magic affects the magic itself, okay? It was said that ancestors would communicate through the smoke when you exhale in the form of shapes and other symbols. The smoke produced from vaporizing the plant spirit is not any better than when you use fire, but the quality of your message may be better received when this channel is used, and it can result in clear channeling. I think that y'all were like doing something. It could have been like a substance or whatever before you like connect with spirit, before you read and things of that nature, and that could have like been a thing. Okay. This could also just be about, like I said, like overdoing it with your magic and your spells. Could have also been fucking up, okay, like your spells, you know what I'm saying, like not seeing things clearly because you're trying to do it too much. For some of y'all, this also has to do with like you learned a lesson about vaping or like tobacco or like things bad for your health. The vape card arrives when you are ready to talk with someone about your plant spirit communications. Okay, I definitely think you learned a lesson about who to speak with about your vices and who to speak with about your recreational habits as well. Maybe you keep this in the dark from some and are out to others. All right, so y'all gotta learn a lesson about who you talk to about what you do in your free time. Do not talk to everybody about what you do in your free time, but y'all learn that lesson this year. Okay? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. You could have learned a big lesson about needing to cleanse. Lemon balm could have been very, very significant. Lemons in general, but especially lemon balm. So y'all's lesson has to do a lot with like cleansing and balancing out like bad habits and shit like that. Okay, but with girls need love, okay, I definitely think that y'all like understood more about yourself and your relationship to sex than you have in like past times. You know what I'm saying? I definitely think that stuff was made a lot clearer, okay, for Capricorn placements. All right, and I feel like you definitely like stood up for yourself in terms of like your own personal boundaries, like with like intimacy, what you do like and what you don't like. And I think that you kind of were more open with yourself and more open with others about like how you want to express yourself in that manner, you know. But that is what I have for you, Capricorn. Thank y'all so much for being here. Happy birthday. And happy early birthday. Okay, so my January Capricorns, my December Capricorns. Thank y'all for hitting that thumbs up. Thank y'all for hitting the notification bell so you don't miss out when I post new videos. Thank y'all for hitting that subscribe button to become kinfolk. Okay, and thank y'all for leaving me a comment down below. All right. About your favorite song from 2025. Also for Capricorn, Blue Appetite could be very, very significant for Capricorns. Okay, you may want to get into Blue Appetite. All right. But that is what I have for y'all. Thank you. Aquarius. Aquarius, welcome in Aquarius. Okay, it's almost time for that Aquarius eclipse, y'all, but we're not getting into that right now. Okay, thank you so much to Aquarius for being here. Thank you for hitting that thumbs up. Thank you for hitting the notification bell so you don't miss out on new videos like this one. Thank you for hitting that subscribe button to become kinfolk, and thank you for leaving a comment down below about your favorite song of 2025. Okay, so when it comes down to it, y'all got quickie, okay? Between you and Capricorn, okay, Saturn and where Saturn was at and what Saturn was doing this year could have been very, very significant. So check your Saturn placements as well. You may want to check the Scorpio reading, okay, or the Capricorn reading, but the Scorpio reading, okay, that's in part 2, okay? I definitely think that when it comes down to Quickie by Miguel, okay, Aquarius, this year could have definitely been a very like interesting sexual year as well. You could have been doing shit that you ain't never did before. Okay, this could have been very spontaneous. All right, when it comes down to like intimacy. Okay, You could also feel like this year went by very, very fast, or like the connections that you had with people were not very like long lasting. Like you could feel like you met a lot of people but didn't sustain a lot of people, if you know what I mean. And as soon as I say that, the first cards I see, this is the Page of Swords that just came out. Okay, so y'all were definitely communicating, networking, being around people. Okay, and that's Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. So y'all were definitely like networking. Social media could have definitely been a thing for y'all. Okay, during 2025. Okay, whether that's social media work, humanitarianism, y'all could have been like standing up for something you believe in, protesting, something of that nature. Okay, but I definitely think that it was definitely one of those where people were definitely like seeing you. Okay, and Four Wands in reverse, this could have been a relatively like single year for y'all. Okay, or maybe this was also the idea of like not wanting something long term with somebody. Okay, or like a long term relationship that you were planning with somebody, like not necessarily like working out like that. Okay. Mommy, you're looking like I'm just another guy that came to check it, that came to wreck it. No disrespect, but mommy, that's correct. Cause listen, them jeans just got my mind hectic. I can see that you're feeling my fashion. Okay, I definitely think that like clothes could have been a little like difficult for y'all this year. Like maybe y'all were not able to like sustain for yourself in the way, you know what I'm saying? Or like I just feel like y'all could have been like maybe pushing to like maintain a certain image this year. Okay, like y'all definitely pushed through the motherfucking year. Okay, I definitely know that people didn't know all the shit that was going on in your home, in your house, in your marriage. Okay, um, you're somebody people are definitely curious about. Is it cause I'm fashion? You could have had some hard times having like going back to your hometown, okay? Something of that nature, all right? Or like being around people that you grew up with. No. Is it my ancestors way too reckless? Is it this necklace? Wait, let me interrupt myself with this message. See, I don't wanna be loved. It the ones came out sideways. Interrupt myself with this message. I definitely think that some of y'all like were having a little like iffy communication having to do with like love and relationships. Like maybe things were a little unsure, okay? And things didn't go in the direction relationship wise that maybe y'all thought. I definitely feel as though you had to do a lot of like you had to make a choice or decision about how fast or slow you wanted something to go, especially in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? Queen of Wands in reverse. A lot of y'all could have also ended up having some sort of like low vibrational like sexual relationship or friendship with somebody. A Queen of Wands in reverse, Aries, Leo, Sag placement person, or Libra, Taurus, Sag placement person. Emphasis on Sag, but like somebody could have just been like there was somebody that you knew was like a little bit rowdy. You know what I'm saying? Like you know. I don't know, but I just feel like underlyingly this person has like deep issues with like their divine feminine or like women or like womanhood. All right. Yeah, I definitely think that this year like things got easier. You know what I'm saying? Things definitely got easier after you recognize, okay, that like you were thinking too long term. You were thinking too long term with certain people, certain friends. Okay. Yeah. I don't wanna be loved. I don't wanna be loved. This is you recognizing that you don't want to be in people's lives the way that they want you to be. Okay, like that's very Aquarius, but y'all can recognize that you don't want to be in certain people's lives the way that they want to be in your life. Confirmation. Okay, so people wanting to be more in your life than you want to be in theirs. You know what I'm saying, or vice versa. I don't wanna be loved. I don't wanna be loved. I just want a quickie. No bite marks, no scratches, and no ickies. If you can't get with that, mommy, come get with me. Wanna be loved, I don't wanna be loved. Yeah, I definitely think like things went left in love and relationships, okay? Just want a quick fix. But yeah, y'all freed yourself from somebody like y'all. This could have even been like stuff going wrong with like a trip, travel, cancel trips, cancel travel, cancel plans, change of plans, ships in a night. Okay, like passing by somebody. All right, I definitely think that y'all had to up y'all's protection, and I do think that this year was also not necessarily the most like pleasant for y'all. Okay, I think it has to also do with like the fact that Saturn is like shifting over. Okay, up in your mix. Portuguese could be significant. Okay, Brazil, Portugal, and Portuguese language as a whole. Okay. Quero fugir. I'm so obscene. Learning other languages. Y'all could have started learning a new language. Yeah, sorry, that was Portuguese that I speak with ease. Please get on your knees. I got a penny for your thoughts if you know what I mean. But yeah, y'all definitely could have been dealing with some sort of injustice having to do with like a partner, a romantic or a sexual partner. Okay. And I definitely like want y'all to know the karma for that person is coming, but you have to like set yourself free from somebody to where they are worried about the wrong shit. You know what I'm saying? So you could have been dealing with somebody who also was just very hypersexual and they didn't want anything long term with you, okay, or vice versa, whatever the case may be. I definitely think that this was a year where your independence, your singlehood, okay, being able to do what it is that you want to do was definitely like the main point. I also think that you were getting to the Murties, okay, and like recognizing that you like that there's certain people that you could not bring with you into this next level of like your success, okay. Strawberry quartz could be significant, okay. Fuchsite and also ruby could be significant. This is fuchsite and ruby. Okay, so that could be significant. Strawberries, look up the spiritual meaning of strawberries, okay? But yeah, y'all, I definitely think that this was one of those years, okay? Um, don't be offended, babe, by what I say. It's just a game. Y'all were dealing with very crass people, very like rude, forward, brash, okay, types of people. All right, there definitely could have been some people who were like very like inappropriate when it comes down to like their sexuality, okay, and how they express it to other people. Like maybe somebody they just like make like nasty jokes. Okay, I think you recognize a lot about the people that you were around, you know what I'm saying? Especially in areas of a woman or feminine energy, fire signing woman, okay? Or somebody who just like, you just recognize that somebody, like, you know, when somebody like plays too much, don't be offended, babe, by what I say. It's just a game and how I play pillage and plunder. Call me your plumber. Y'all could have definitely been dealing with like issues with like a home, okay, shit breaking, okay. Knock on this wood, get rocked by this thunder. Okay, parrots could be significant, okay. Definitely y'all could have been dealing with nightmares, bad sleep as well. Okay, look up the spiritual meaning of parrots. I definitely also think that there were people like repeating the words that you said, people telling your business, okay, people misconstruing stories. Spiders could be significant, animals could have been a big theme for you this year, all right. Don't worry, all right, if you're still worried about all these people saying all this shit, everything's going to be okay. Okay. Yeah, Capricorn season is definitely going to be one of those time periods, okay, where all that shit is getting debunked, okay, so don't worry too much about it. But I definitely think that y'all went through some sort of like breakup, divorce, separation, okay, or like dysfunctional family, okay. Y'all could have had issues with your family, the people that you live with, okay. Emphasis on that because of ignoring your intuition, or maybe people that you live with don't fuck with something that you do spiritually, okay, or this is just, I don't know, okay. So we're gonna go ahead and see how 2025 went for the seasons, okay, for Aquarius. So winter time, okay, from January through March, which also includes Aquarius season. How did Aquarius season go? Okay, for Aquarius, okay, healing with nature, period. Winter time definitely was a time period y'all may have been outside more, spending more time outside, getting some fresh air. Your soul yearned to be outside in nature around the healing waters, flowers, and trees, okay, during the winter time. All right, so y'all could have spent a lot of time outside. Y'all could have been starting to go on walks more. Maybe y'all were living in a place where there was lots of nature, okay. Ooh, confirmation. Y'all could have been living in a place where there was lots of nature. Okay, spending more time outside, especially during Aquarius season, okay, during February, January, February, all right, and I definitely think that y'all also recognize a lot about yourself, like as a lot about yourself, like as a person, as a leader, okay, what it is that you're capable of, all right, but I feel like y'all were getting a shit ton of downloads and synchronicities, and it definitely started to kind of confuse you a little bit, okay, but I do think that y'all were doing a lot of like healing and kind of keeping to yourself, okay, a lot of untapped potential going on when it came down to wintertime for Aquarius. How was the springtime? Okay, so that's March through June. Okay, how was springtime for Aquarius, March through June? Okay, now springtime was a little difficult. Okay, springtime was a little difficult. You had Seeker of Truth. Okay, you can feel the hidden truth behind your circumstances, all right? But this is like in reverse. So you were no longer, I'm hearing fuck around and find out. Y'all tried to find something out about somebody and you found it. Okay, so maybe you could have got your feelings hurt a little bit during springtime. Okay, from March through June, all right? There was definitely some information that was like presented to you. Okay, but when it comes down to it, y'all can feel the hidden truth behind your circumstances. But yeah, in reverse, like the truth, the hidden truth behind why things were happening to you in that way was no longer, especially having to do with your career. Okay, so y'all found out something having to do with like money, finances. Okay, from between March through June. Okay, and I definitely feel like this has to do with you standing up for yourself in regards to like a job or business opportunities. Okay, whatever the case may be. Okay, and you also have to like look into like other people's like disapproval of what the fuck you got going on. Malachite could have been very, very significant for y'all. Okay, during springtime. Okay, or even like fluorite crystal could have been very significant for y'all, or the name crystal. Okay, during the springtime. Okay. But I really feel like y'all were having a hard time like surrendering and letting something go once you found the truth out about something, especially having to do with like your job, your career, okay, where you were trying to go. Okay, so yeah, definitely some things like some heavy truths found out. When it came down to summertime, okay, and summertime is always significant for Aquarius because of Leo season, all right. So from June to September, how was that? What was going on? June to September, okay, there was definitely some confusion during the summertime, okay. There's that natural born leader aspect, okay. So things from the winter came back around, okay, during things from the winter time came back around during summertime, all right, for Aquarius. So natural born leader, and there's 11, okay. Also stranger things could be significant, all right. You were born to lead others. It is a part of your life's past. So I feel like this summer you kind of tapped into like your influence around other people. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you recognize who it is that you were, especially during Leo season, okay. So July, August, you started to really feel like, you know, like I'm that girl. Okay, I'm That Girl by Beyonce could be significant. She's a Leo Mars, okay, and also that album Renaissance is was released during Leo season underneath that new moon or that full moon in Leo, okay. So Renaissance could have been very significant for y'all during the summertime, okay. So yeah, y'all could have been through a huge like transition and change in terms of how you see yourself, all right. Aquarius during summertime, especially during Leo season. But y'all were born to lead other people, okay, and it is a part of your life's path, okay. I definitely feel like y'all. I'm hearing blush blindness. That could be significant for somebody. But also, I definitely feel like y'all could have changed the way that you were like dressing or like looking or like when it comes down to putting yourself out there, okay, between June and September. I definitely think that you recognize a lot about yourself and how certain people were like kind of like keeping you down, holding you down. I feel like other people were also aware that you're a natural born leader, and I feel like this bothered them. Okay, I do feel like this was something that like bothered them, but y'all were facing some sort of like roadblocks or obstacles because of the people that you were around. So yes, you were born to lead others, and I think that some of y'all could have had like a manager or like a boss or somebody like like supposed to be helping you, and it just like that's just not how you're supposed to operate, like being led in that way. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I definitely feel like y'all recognize that maybe y'all kind of started falling out with people that you were living with, friends, roommates, okay, partners, whatever the case may be. Once you recognize about your like independence, you know what I'm saying? So y'all had to part ways. There was a lot of parting ways in the summertime, okay, between June and September. There was a lot of parting ways, moving on from a situation, moving on from a person, okay, and recognizing like that a new door, okay, to the type of recognition that you're looking for was like right there, but it just, it couldn't happen while you was there with them other people, you know. So what's going on during the fall from September to December 21st, okay, September to now? Yeah, we're back to that parting ways, okay. So that started for sure, okay. That definitely started earlier in the year, okay, and shit was revealed to you in the springtime, but like you started really having to walk away from motherfuckers around summertime, okay. So between June to the rest of the year, y'all started walking away from folks, but especially from September into now, okay. It may be time to move on from the situation or person because you recognize something about a mother figure, a woman in your life, a mother figure, especially, okay, or you recognize something about a woman in your life, okay, a friend, okay, whoever it was, okay, especially if this was someone that you were like involved with, like for like sexually for a short period of time or like whatever the case may be. I definitely think that you recognize that you had to walk away from somebody, and this was a positive life change. Okay, so you walking away from people, recognizing like weird energy in people, okay, and like people who like had issues with women, mommy issues, mommy wounds, okay, that like all that, you walking away from people during the fall, all right, is leading you to such positive life changes, all right, and it's helping you to see things clearer, all right. Spirit was not letting certain things increase for y'all until you recognize your soul group, okay, and the people that you're supposed to be around, you know what I'm saying? So I know that it was like heavy, okay, I know you've had like a heavy year, all right, but the astrology of this year is also deeply like affecting you, okay, and the astrology of fall, okay, was also deeply affecting you. That also gives me like those eclipses, okay. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and pull your final card having to do with like what was the greatest lesson, okay, the greatest lesson that Aquarius learned during 2025, okay. What was the greatest lesson that Aquarius learned during 2025? Okay, let's see what is going on. Greatest lesson Aquarius learned during 2025, okay. Um, this is a new card. I've actually never pulled this card. Okay, this is a newer deck. But Duro Ile, okay, compassion. Duro Ile, compassion. Okay, so the biggest lesson that Aquarius learned is a brand new, like, this is completely different than any of the other groups because I've seen all the other cards, you know what I'm saying, but I haven't seen this one. His necklace, okay, is very much so significant to me. I think that y'all's biggest lesson, y'all learn how to stay like protected, okay, stay prayed up in a very quiet manner, okay, and also compassion, humanitarianism, you know what I'm saying. Also, I think that Pluto being in Aquarius, okay, Pluto being direct in Aquarius is also deeply affecting y'all's fall, okay? But the biggest lesson that y'all learn has to do with like your own sense of self, grounding, spirituality, and protection. Like he is surrounded by cacti. Okay, Texas could be significant, the West in general, Arizona, Nevada, okay, the desert, whatever the case may be, okay. Also Los Angeles specifically could be significant, okay. Um, yeah, Ifa could be significant as well. But Duro Ile, okay, compassion. The biggest lesson you learned was about like being compassionate for people, being compassionate towards people, but also being compassionate in a balanced manner, okay? Knowing when to be compassionate from afar. Okay, that is what this card is giving me, is knowing when to be compassionate from afar. Because this is my first time pulling this card, okay? So I feel this is your first time learning this lesson. Y'all learned a brand new lesson this year. Okay, you learned an absolutely brand new lesson. You ain't never learned the lesson that you learned in 2025. Okay, yeah, I've never learned that lesson, and it really has a lot to do with you being compassionate from afar. Okay, and being a natural born leader. Okay, a man sits on the ground in deep meditation as his hands work with numerous mala beads. Okay, I really feel like this is like getting into like your spiritual practice. You learned a lot about maintaining your spiritual practice and not letting what other people got going on distract you from getting into your spiritual routines. This gives me Hierophant energy. Okay, so yeah. Taurus and Scorpio season could have been significant. A man sits on the ground in deep meditation as his hands work with numerous mala beads. I could have been making spiritual jewelry, waist beads, necklaces, bracelets, okay, like all that, earrings, all right. His body and skin are covered in sacred geometric markings, okay, from all of his incarnations, and he knows the lessons very well in this human experience. I could have got tattooed, okay, or pierced, all right, but I feel like y'all's biggest lesson has to do with you connecting to like past life energy, okay, and just like wisdom maturing, okay. The Duro Ile card appears when you have cut through all the beliefs in your life that truly hold your spirit down. That was y'all's greatest lesson in 2025. Y'all cut through a bunch of heavy ass beliefs that were holding your spirit down, and a lot of those heavy ass beliefs were coming from these people, okay? That Queen of Wands in reverse, the Empress in reverse, okay? Like shitty beliefs that came from a mother figure, shitty beliefs that came from a friend, okay, who has issues with their divine feminine, shitty beliefs that came from like a partner, okay, who maybe was not like doing what they were supposed to do as a person, as a woman, as a mother, or you know what I'm saying, or they got mommy issues, okay, taking care of themselves, okay. The man emits a velvet green aura And there are saguaro cacti and aloe plants in the background, which seem to be a part of him. So yeah, y'all got much deeper into your practice. Okay, y'all could have gotten deeper into herbalism. Okay, but this card reminds us to build a strong foundation in order to ascend to higher frequencies, realms, and ways of life. So this year was about y'all building a strong foundation in order for 2026 to be the year that you want it to be. Okay, so that had to do with you parting ways with people and having some heavy truths be shown to you. So 2025's biggest lesson for y'all was embodying the feeling or experience that you want and becoming grounded in the reality that you can bring whatever you want to. This was strengthening your magic, okay? Wear your protective jewelry and adorn yourself intentionally. Some of y'all could have gotten deeper into enchanting things. Y'all's biggest lesson could have came with like wearing your protection and protecting yourself quietly, not really telling a bunch of people what the fuck you got going on, okay? And y'all could have definitely done a lot of work with like I said, like wearing your magic, wearing your protection, and going about things in a very like personalized manner. Okay, so where other people don't gotta be all in your beeswax, all in your business. Okay, beeswax candles. Y'all could have got deeper into like candles, herbs, making stuff at home. Okay, also look up the spiritual meaning of bees. All right. But thank you so much, Aquarius. Okay. Thank y'all for hitting that thumbs up. Thank y'all for hitting the notification bell so you don't miss out when I post new videos. Thank y'all for hitting that subscribe button to become kinfolk with the girl, okay? And thank y'all so much for leaving a comment down below about what your favorite song was in 2025, okay? Or if this reading resonates with you, okay? I thought to shout a long way. Okay, Pisces. Pisces is the only one I seem to have forgot to make it a ticker. Okay, so we're just gonna sit right there. Okay, hello Pisces, welcome in. Y'all the only one I forgot to do this to. Okay, so I'll take that as a part of the reading. But thank y'all for hitting that thumbs up. Thank y'all for hitting that subscribe button to become kinfolk with your girl. Thank y'all for hitting the notification bell so you don't miss out on new videos. And thank y'all for leaving me a comment down below about what your favorite song from 2025 was. Okay, so Pisces, the fact that like y'all were the only person who didn't have like a ticker at the bottom, okay, I feel like things were very much so like clockwork, okay? Things were very much so like clockwork, but you didn't necessarily know what was going to happen, okay? So things were like clockwork, but I definitely feel as though things were like hazy for you. That's because this year was full of eclipses for you, okay? Y'all had them Pisces and Virgo eclipses this year, okay? So there was hella changes. Okay, Pisces, y'all could have had a very bold ass year, maybe one of the boldest, if not the boldest, okay, of 2025, okay? The song I got was Cozy, okay, by Beyonce. I need to go watch the Virgo reading, okay? Because Virgo, their song was Virgo's song was Spaghetti. Okay. So yeah, Virgo's song was Spaghetti. So that's in part two. Y'all go ahead and watch part two. It's on the channel already. But yeah, y'all could definitely have Virgo placements at y'all's sister sign, okay? But also y'all really want to go watch the Cancer placement, okay? Because that had Heated on it. Okay, so Cozy and Heated, okay, come from the same album. Okay, Cozy and Heated both come from Renaissance. Okay, so Renaissance could be very, very, very significant. I was just talking about Renaissance a minute ago. Yeah, Renaissance could be very, very significant for 2025. 2025 with all these fucking eclipses was quite literally like a Renaissance for y'all. Okay, like was quite literally a renaissance for y'all. All right, a major transformation. Y'all could have gotten so much deeper into like your craft, into art. Okay, so definitely watch the Virgo reading, watch the Cancer reading if that applies to you. Okay, I can have Virgo Cancer placements. Okay, the first things that I see. Okay, King of Wands, the Empress. Okay, and then the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, comfortable in my skin. Okay, cozy with who I am. I love myself, goddamn cozy. Cozy. Okay, y'all could have definitely been invested in like a man or masculine. Okay, there could have definitely been a man who was like treating you right, or a masculine energy. Okay, who was treating you right. All right, or this could have definitely been you just like being like more real with yourself. All right, I do think y'all, okay, that there was maybe like a slight issue with y'all trying to do too much too quickly with somebody, trying to move a little bit too fast. Okay, there was definitely some conflict that came from this. This gives me like codependence, okay? And I feel like there was just something that wasn't happening the way that there was something that was kind of like an uphill battle. The Climb by Miley Cyrus is significant. I definitely could have been traveling, okay? But I definitely feel like y'all's feelings were kind of like hurt because you were trying to make something work, okay? But I don't know, okay? But comfortable in my skin. Y'all were very like focused on living like a soft girl lifestyle could be significant, okay? And if not, a soft girl life, you know what I'm saying? Like, comfortable in my skin. Yeah. I love myself, goddamn cozy. But it's more so in this case, y'all Pisces, y'all could have been trying to convince yourself of that. Okay, I feel like y'all were definitely living like very like comfortable lifestyles. Okay, very cozy, very, you know what I'm saying, having shit together. But I definitely feel as though this was just like there was like a sense of like loneliness or like having a hard time like maintaining singlehood. Okay, or maybe being with somebody. Okay, even though it's not like the best, or like trying to make shit happen too quickly, okay, before you fully like know somebody. Like somebody could be very like sexy and appealing and like I heard egoic even. Like somebody has like a bravado about them. Okay, Johnny Bravo could be significant. Okay, somebody could be a fuck nigga. I don't know. But I definitely feel as though like there was like some sort of energy that you were feeling kind of like trapped in. When something didn't work out, you kind of took it in a weird way, but it's kind of like that more so has to do with spirit protecting you from a tower moment. Okay, like an unwanted like pregnancy or like something going left or like getting financially tied in with somebody, but it's too late before, you know what I'm saying? Like it's too soon, you know? Okay, roto cross site could be significant for this collective, okay? Roto cross site could have been very significant for y'all during 2025. Roto night as well, but I believe this is roto cross site, okay? Um, yeah, cozy, cozy, comfortable in my skin. Okay, then I say y'all want to watch the Virgo reading. There's a hermit in reverse. Okay, y'all may really want to watch the Virgo reading. This is the idea of like coming out of your shell or like having a hard time being with yourself. Okay, y'all had a hard time being with yourself. There were all these major ass like changes. All the same to me, plain Jane spaghetti. I really feel like y'all were like picky this year. Y'all were very picky about people, okay? Very picky about the things that you're invested in, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but I think that it kind of led you to like looking or dating for like money or wealth or stability rather than for like your feelings and emotions. So I definitely also feel like children could have been very, very significant. You as a mom or a mother could have been very, very significant, okay? But watch out for the stuff that you do so you're not teaching your kids certain things, okay? Especially when it comes down to like the word desperation. Okay, I'm also hearing Desperado by Rihanna. Okay, Desperado. Rihanna is a Pisces. Okay, so sitting in a Monte Carlo. Yeah, I feel like y'all were definitely kind of dating for luxury or dating for money. Okay, or just like there's something about that. But I also just feel like y'all were having maybe a hard time financially or keeping yourself afloat. So maybe that's also where that was coming from. But there were some lessons that I feel like y'all were like refusing to learn. Okay, and that kind of got your feelings like hurt. Okay, y'all could have had some issues with your cars or vehicles. Okay, we have this Nine of Cups right here sitting in a Monte Carlo. Okay, so Nine of Cups, y'all were definitely overdoing it. It could have been drinking, smoking, partying, traveling, just doing too much in the pursuit of like happiness. Pursuit of Happiness by Kid Cudi, Aquarius energy. Music was incredibly significant for y'all this year. Okay, I seen a whole bunch of ones a minute ago, so there could have been a new beginning having to do with like artists that you listen to, the type of music that you listen to, whatever the case may be. But I do feel as though y'all could have been like overdoing it a little bit. Okay, and there were certain things that y'all were refusing to let go of. Queen Knight, page 10, 9. Yeah, there was some sort of conflict, y'all. There was some sort of conflict that was like going on here. Okay, some sort of conflict. Like I feel like y'all were trying to like not to say just make the most out of life, but y'all were trying to do too much. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all were trying to like make stuff that wasn't there because Pisces is a sign of delusion. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely feel like y'all were not really interested in listening to like a mentor or somebody who gave you good advice. Okay, and I feel as though y'all were just kind of like trying to fill a void. Okay, and I feel like y'all's discernment and judgment could have been a little off. All right, Malachite could be very, very significant. Make sure you're cleansing and charging it. Okay, cleansing it especially. But I definitely feel as though this was a very emotional, like breakthrough year. Y'all also had a very psychically inclined year, spiritually inclined year, and there was a lot of hidden aspects that were shown to you. I definitely could have woken up to some new spiritual gifts. Y'all's dreams could have also been super duper significant. Okay, but I do think that y'all were more comfortable in your skin. You know what I'm saying, and like treating yourself with like luxury and things of that nature. You know what I mean, and like I do feel like things were going well financially for the most part, but I do think that there was something about looking for happiness like outside of yourself. That was definitely like a thing here. You know what I'm saying? I feel like y'all, like I said, very, very psychic time, but I feel like y'all were not necessarily interested in studying something or learning something in the way that y'all wanted to. And I think that these eclipses kind of set y'all every way but motherfucking loose. Okay, so I get that. I definitely get that. Y'all spiritual gifts were definitely popping during 2025. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and see what was going on during the seasons, okay? So we're going to go with winter as January through March, okay? Which includes, okay, Pisces season. So let's go ahead and see. That's also including those eclipses, okay? So what was going on, okay? So you have number 71, inner child in reverse, okay? You are currently healing old emotional wounds, but in reverse. So I definitely feel as though y'all were dealing with inner child wounds real bad, okay? This could also have to do with like your own child, okay? And kind of having to go through some emotional shifts and changes having to do with like a child in your life, okay? And if you don't have any kids, this could also have to do with like you yourself, even if you do, you know what I mean? But there's just something here about inner child like issues, okay? During Pisces season, like coming up in order for y'all to like recognize it, which is very much so. Them eclipses were sitting right there, okay? We have Earth shifts in the background, okay? So yeah, them Pisces, that eclipse then, I'm not sure if it was in Virgo or in Pisces, but whichever those mutable eclipses happened, okay, during Pisces season, okay, that definitely like did a number on you. All right, the astrology was definitely bringing up some inner child trauma, or was having your child like changing. Okay, pyrite could be significant. Okay, I definitely feel like wounds surrounding money and like what you can and can't afford were a big thing. Okay, during the winter time. Okay, and a lot of that has to do with the astrology right now. Y'all are going through some sort of power struggle. Okay, between like your inner child and like your higher self. You know what I'm saying? Like future you and like current you know what I'm saying? Or a power struggle between you and your children. Okay, could have also been very, very significant. There could have also been like a man or masculine who fed a version of your inner child, like someone that you dreamed of. I'm hearing Cinderella by the Cheetah Girls. When I was just a little girl, my mama used to tuck me into bed and she read me a story. It always was about our princess and distress and how a guy would save her and end up with the glory. I love it that you think about the person that I wanted to be. Then one day I realized a fairy tale life wasn't for me. I don't wanna be like Cinderella, sitting in a golden Cinderella, waiting for somebody to come and set me free. Okay, so yeah, I feel like this year that was a huge theme, y'all. Okay, let's see what's going on during springtime. Okay, from March to June. Positive life changes, okay? Because we had just had them eclipses, okay? Positive life changes. We had just, oh, my bad. We had just had them eclipses, okay? So I really feel like this definitely made a huge like change in your perception. There was a huge change in the way that you seen life, okay? After that, after y'all got past that Pisces eclipse, and there could have been a Libra or Aries eclipse then. I'm not sure which one it was. But during the springtime, positive life changes were ahead, okay? If you choose to trust in the process. So y'all learn how to trust in yourself, your intuition, and trust in the process and try not to fight so much against it. Okay, and a lot of y'all recognize that you were doing certain things and habits, drinking, smoking, hanging out too much, going out too much out of pain. Okay, inner child pain, inner child issues, things you, like that weren't rectified for you. You know what I mean? And so I feel like that was a thing. Okay, but yeah, stuff started to look a lot more positive for y'all during the springtime. Okay, so March through June, things started looking up. Okay, and I definitely think that like some of the information. I feel like y'all were getting a lot of information from older people in your life at that moment in time, okay, but there was still some stuff that you were not fully there yet. The positive changes did start in the spring, but I don't think that they were fully integrated in the way that you needed them to be just yet, you know what I'm saying? Because I think that you were still recognizing who was a part of your support team, you know what I'm saying? At that moment in time, all right? But y'all did definitely start listening more to the synchronicities and becoming more spiritually tapped in. Ooh, confirmation, excuse me, because of the eclipses, okay? So summertime from June through September. What was going on for summertime for Pisces? What was going on in summertime for Pisces? Okay, so yeah, shooting star in reverse. You are a shooting star. Okay, you are about to step into your fullest potential. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes down to summertime from June to September, there was also another set of eclipses, and these ones were in Pisces and Virgo. So we're back to shit started, looking up a little bit after that first eclipse. You know what I'm saying? From March into June, okay, but like from June into September, okay, there was definitely the astrology kind of fucking with y'all again, okay. And I definitely feel like with you're a shooting star, you're about to step into your fullest potential, but in reverse, okay, it was not time for y'all to step into your fullest potential, and I feel like y'all experienced a lot of delays, okay. A lot of that had to do with the astrology, all right, but y'all were experiencing a lot of delays during the fall time. Y'all were like definitely aiming for something, okay, and it just like wasn't um like happening yet. Okay, it just wasn't happening yet because it wasn't supposed to. So y'all were not at your fullest potential, and I feel like it's because y'all were like unhappy. You know what I'm saying? Y'all were not happy, and I feel like that Virgo eclipse was definitely like bringing some shit out of y'all. Okay, because y'all recognize that like you wanted to do all these things, but you did not have the resources or the knowledge or like the backup. You know what I'm saying, to like make something happen. Okay, so the last card for y'all season wise, let's go ahead and see what was going on for y'all season wise for the fall. Okay, which is September through now, okay? September through December 21st, okay, period. These eclipses definitely changed y'all's life. Y'all had a very big, bold ass year, okay? Very big, bold ass year, which had a lot to do with what makes you comfortable, okay? And so the fall time from September to now, confirmation, y'all are healing your energy. September to now, your natural ability to heal yourself and others is needed now, okay? So this has a lot to do with like your gifts. And I said that y'all had a year of like new gifts popping up and things of that nature. Okay, so you're healing your energy, and I feel like there's certain truth behind your circumstances that are no longer like hidden. You know what I'm saying? There's certain things about like the people around you and yourself that you recognize. Okay, y'all are definitely healing yourself in order to get some creative projects done. Okay, y'all could also be helping another person around you. Okay, get their creative projects done. This could also be you meeting an energy healer. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely feel like there's new shit that you're trying. Fall was definitely one of those times to where shit is feeling better. You're paying attention to all the signs. Okay, your prayers have been answered during fall, and a new door is being held open to y'all. Y'all are out of the dark night of the soul. Okay, that all them heavy ass Pisces and Virgo eclipses were bringing to y'all. Okay, and I definitely think that like 2026, like winter of 2026, is a brand new door. 2026 in general is a brand new door for Pisces placements because this upcoming year is not going to be as hard as this last year was because y'all were being eclipsed in the first place. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull y'all's final card, okay, in regards to the biggest lesson that Pisces placements learned during 2025, okay? What was the biggest lesson? Okay, Cashapp could have definitely been significant. Okay, the biggest lesson could have had to do with like friends. Okay, money and loaning money to friends. Okay, or like invitations, parties, things of that nature. Okay, like rolling the dice. All right. So the card that y'all got was Numo Namo. Okay, change. Gemini season could have been significant. Okay, or Sagittarius season with that full moon in Gemini. Okay, but a lot of y'all's biggest lesson had to do with like two-faced people, as well as like a bunch of changes. Okay, these eclipses this year definitely did a number on y'all. Okay, I'm not even gonna sit here and act like you know what I'm saying, like because I definitely see it. All right, there was definitely a bunch of shit going on. Y'all's biggest lesson has to do with like multiple sides of people, multiple sides of yourself. This also got to do with siblings. Okay, the Numo Namo is a chameleon of the culture suit. Okay, look up chameleons in the spiritual message, but this has a lot to do with like you changing parts of yourself. Okay, like or like parts of yourself that you shouldn't change. Okay, as culture changes, we change, and as we progress through life from adolescence to full grown adults, like I say, childhood, yourself as a child, like inner child, as well as like your children and the children around you was a huge thing this year. Okay, as culture changes, we change, and as we progress through life from adolescence to full grown adults, it may feel like we are battling ourselves or our programs. That was y'all's lesson. Y'all were battling yourself. You were battling the program because you didn't like the way that it was looking. You kind of wanted to do what you wanted to do, and the astrology of this year was not letting that happen. Okay, Numo Namo appears when the conditioning you have been inputting into your operating system was no longer compatible in 2025. The way you went about things in 24 and prior, it wasn't working. 2025 was a call for y'all to wrap yourself around what you thought that you knew, okay, and what may have been instilled in you as a default by your parents, grandparents, and even possibly your friends, exes, and society as a whole. That's what that inner child shit, okay, and that lack mindset with that shooting star, okay? So small mushrooms gather around Numonamo. Y'all could have also learned a heavy lesson about like substance use, okay? Shroomy doomies could be significant, okay? And in the background of the card is a reminder to connect to the entire network of beings on the planet. Y'all's biggest lesson was like, y'all don't have to be that stimulated all the time. I feel like y'all were trying to like, y'all could have been traveling way too much. Numonamo in the background of the card as a reminder to connect to the entire network of beings on the planet. But with this being in reverse, like there could have been something about y'all traveling to other places, other countries, nations, states, whatever whatever the case may be, just doing shit. You know what I'm saying? But like this was not, you were trying to force changes that aren't supposed to be forced, okay? We are all intertwined within each other as we all come from the same source of energy. Connect with your inner warrior, healer, lover, and friend, and be the chameleon of your own life at times. But I feel like y'all were also like camouflaging yourself with chameleon energy in reverse. Also, chameleonaire could be significant, but with chameleon energy in reverse, this gives me y'all like pretending to be something that you're not in order to try to manifest a certain type of lifestyle. Okay. But at times you may even see the confirmation of the rainbow, reminding you that all is well. The biggest lesson that I learned is that sometimes like shit like is not well. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes the shit that happened before does happen again if you don't learn the lessons. You know what I'm saying? The world is much smaller than you could imagine. Our connections to others are intertwined more than you know. So I think that you could have gotten too intertwined with some people. Okay, it could have to do with like traveling around the world, traveling all across the country, traveling all around the city. I don't know. There's something about like trying to do too much in order to like fill a void in some way, shape, or form. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like y'all are like recognizing that now, okay? Or you're going to be recognizing that during Capricorn season, December 21st, 2025 to January 19th, okay, 2026. All right. But I feel like y'all were trying to force changes. Okay. Y'all were trying to like do too much. I think that y'all were overstimulating yourself in a way. Okay. And I strongly feel like the biggest lesson had to do with like somebody being a chameleon and changing their personality whenever they're around you versus other people. Okay. Or this could even be like you changing aspects of yourself and your personality to kind of fit the circumstance that you're in. This could have like proved, this could have like, I didn't even mean to say prove, this could have like proved fakeness to you, your own fakeness or somebody else's fakeness towards you. I don't know. But this is the idea of pretending to be somebody that you're not until something works out for you in order for you to have some sort of like romantic happiness or like, you know, but there's a need for y'all. I'm telling you, Capricorn season is about to wake y'all up. I'm not gonna lie. Capricorn season is definitely about to hurt y'all feelings a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. And also, Aquarius season is not going to be the easiest either, especially because we have those eclipses coming. Okay, there's going to be a huge reality check. Okay, blue appetite could be significant for y'all. But yeah, I strongly feel like this is also, you're gonna feel better when Saturn gets out of Pisces and goes into Aries as well. Okay, so y'all also have all these heavy ass lessons that were going on for y'all during this year because Saturn was in Pisces and it was retrograde and it was doing a lot. And now it's direct in Pisces until January 26th, okay, or 29th. All right. So there's just a lot going on. But Pisces, this is what I have for you, okay? So I hope that you had a very, very good 2025. Thank y'all for hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe button to become kinfolk with your girl. Thank you for hitting that notification bell so you don't miss out whenever I post new videos. And thank y'all for leaving a comment down below, okay, about your favorite song from 2025, okay? I fucks with y'all a long way. Bye.